Pleased to meet you. This is Fixed and Folded, the knife review channel for the casual knife collector. I'm Cody. Tommy is outside on my balcony, and I'm going to be doing a review of the Cold Steel Code 4 with limited edition black handle and hardware. So this is your traditional Code 4 blade with your high hollow grind and your unsharpened swedge at the top here. You can also get a clip point version with a flat grind. And the normal version comes with a gray steel handle and satin pocket clip. And I believe it has shiny screws also, body screws. And this is the cool tactical version, except for the blade, which is still the fancy satin finish. So other than the color, nothing has changed over the standard version. You still have S35 VN blade steel and stainless steel. Or is this aluminum? Aluminum? You tell me, is this steel or aluminum? Feels like aluminum, but my viewers will know if this is stainless steel or aluminum. Regardless, it is a metal. So you got the nice feeling metal handle with a metal frame, metal handle with a metal blade. And you've got Cold Steel's very durable triad lock system. The spring tension on this one is quite stiff on the Code 4s. Let's compare it to the triad on the, okay, so it's actually a little bit light on the Recon M1, but other American or Taiwanese made Recons can have a stiff spine, and this kind of feels like that. Very secure. And once it does release, the blade can free drop. And these have a sizable chunk of unsharpened blade right in the finger area. So if your finger's on the front portion and you feel like being a risk taker, then you can drop here. I recommend people two-hand close it like that, just so you don't accidentally damage yourself. Smooth, nice and smooth. Pretty sure Cold Steel uses phosphor bronze washers on the Code 4. And this one out of the box, perfectly smooth, no grit. Fit and finish has been perfect. This came centered out of the box. You've got your offset thumb screws, and it looks like it's adjustable. So if you want to even it up, you can. I can still do this left-handed, so if you have to, you can use your offhand. You have two position pocket clip, so you can go lefty or righty. The texture on the handle, it's the same texture as your standard model. It feels, it's not slippery, like the coating feels, but also not really chalky either. It's like, how can I describe this? It feels good and it feels secure, mostly like I can do this, but you can see there's a bit of friction on it. So it's not as slippery as, say, like a stone-washed plain steel handle. Usually those are quite slippery, and yet it's also not even a fine texture of like a G10 or something. So it feels comfortable and also not overly slippery. But the main traction built into the handle is going to be your finger scallops here. And that is really good at keeping the hand secure from going forward and back. And because the handle is much taller than it is thick, you also have good directional control and good lateral traction just from the shape of the handle, not to do with the texture, but yeah, like it's impossible. It's really locked in to go to wiggle left and right out of the hand. I feel like there's a tiny bit of handle bent if I really force it, but it's so minor as to be non-existent when you have it just in your one hand. There is no skeletonization inside the handle. You just have just two slabs of, I don't know if this is stainless steel or aluminum, but you got, let's call it aluminum. Two slabs of aluminum. You have a closed back construction. This top half is your triad lock, and then you have a very well integrated back spacer here to give it a integral look, but it is not an integral. These are separate pieces, and if you're servicing the knife, you can take the sides of the handles off. You have, I don't know what the torque sizes are, so let's find that out. Come with me. So, I'm going to grab my Kershaw Torx driver. Oh, Tommy's made an appearance. And Tommy, come on. Come on, off. So let's try T8. So you have T8 on the pivot and T6 body screws and T6 the pocket clip. I would call this a full-size knife, and I'll do a size comparison later, but I wear extra large gloves, and you can see where my hand fits on here. I've got space. Even if I had probably double XL gloves, could still get full purchase on the handle. So the jimping is just the top here, and it's minor, more of a tactile reference point than it is actual useful jimping. Yeah, because I can slide my thumb right up and down pretty easily, about as easily as I can on the sides of the handle, but it looks cool, and it does provide a finger reference. If you're trying to saber grip this in the dark, you can go, okay, yeah, this is the right side. Reverse grip is comfortable. Saber grip is my default grip, very nice. Hammer grip, very nice. And you have a useful space here to do a safe choke up point for doing fine blade control. So that is a very welcome design choice to have that. While you also still have a fair amount of blade length, cutting edge. The thumb studs do go into the cutting path a little bit, just for the actual, just at the start there. But even with that out of the way, you have a lot of cutting edge to use. I'll do some measurements here. So your blade stock length, where it intersects with the handle here, is just less, 3.5 inches, just over 3.5 inches, 3.6 inches. And you have a total cutting length of, I'd say between 3.25 and 3.5 inches. So what is that? let's say 3.35 inches. You have a handle length 5 inches. So total length 8.35 inches, I would say, maybe 8.5 inches. Blade stock thickness is, I would say, between medium and thick. Looking at the base here, the thickness is consistent right up until the last eighth. Just right here, it goes down to a pretty stout tip, not a needle point, made for durability. And it's nice how the thickness of the handle is thicker than the blade stock. But this is a very thin handle for the size of knife. Might be the thinnest handle on a knife this size, other than the Benchmade Narrows, which is about this size. Has, I think, an even slimmer handle. I actually like the Benchmade Narrows. It's way overpriced, but as a knife, I like it. Actually, it's comfortable for me, and if you get one that's centered, it's a good knife. But I haven't bought one yet. I think like $800 Canadian or something stupid like that for M390 and like aluminum. So this S35VN, and I think this is aluminum, 160 Canadian. That's good. That's good. Made in Taiwan. And feel in hand is comfortable. Yeah, now that I've been working all day delivering heavy boxes to people for 10 hours, this actually, with my hands being all munched up from work, this actually feels really nice. But when I have delicate hands when I'm not working, I have like princess hands that like oftentimes pocket clips annoy me. This underneath here annoyed me yesterday because the inside of the handle has not been smoothed, and you can hear that. Here, where's the speaker? You can hear my fingers. It's like nice and quiet, and then here. So I wish that Cold Steel would have at least chamfered or rounded off, tumbled the inside, because when my hands aren't swollen, this actually feels almost like a hot spot when I'm gripping down hard on it. Let's see if you can see on my fingers the wear here. Right there, a little bit. You can see it going across a little bit. And so, yeah, you can see right here. And so, yeah, it does become a hot spot if you're gripping down hard doing heavy duty work without gloves, because of this being, it's not sharp, but it's hard. I'll call it harsh. Edge hasn't been smoothed, it becomes a hot spot. Other than that, man, this is a good, for me with my big hands, I wish that the handle would actually be a bit thicker. I don't really have anything. I mean, you got your Recon 1 here, which is really nice. You see the difference in the thickness. It doesn't have to be this thick for me to be happy with it. I love this, but maybe in between these would be more comfortable for me. Obviously, Cold Steel designed this to be low profile in the pocket, like slim carry. Basically, I'd say the most EDC-able tactical, knife that is this size, probably Cold Steel makes. They have Verdict and other things in a similar design implementation that are a bit smaller than this, but this is like equivalent to your EDC or easy to carry. That's going to be my version of everyday carry. EDC is easy to carry, but you can do this as just a easily transportable work knife if you don't have a lot of cargo space. I do wish this blade the handle was a little bit thicker for me, for overall sense of, getting the most grip on the hand, being able to put the most torque into it. I mean, this is kind of his full, nice big full handle, my SOG Seal XR. Yeah, you can get a ton. It's like holding a hammer handle. You can just get so much torque on this thing, like a Cold Steel 8010 or something, right? I prefer that, but for like a big EDC, put in your jeans knife, this is good. It's comfortable, and definitely I could do up to medium duty with this with comfort. And if I had to, in a tactical or survival scenario, do heavy duty work with this, I would be able to get it done. I'd get some marks on my fingers without gloves, but yeah, this is doable. So, I'd say this is actually a pretty good bug out bag knife instead of a bug out. Code 4 is something that you might want to consider. What? I guess I'll just I'll show you some cutting tests. I've got a crinkly, hard to cut receipt here, so see how this cuts receipt paper. Oh, that's nice. I did do a little bit of a strop on it once I got it out of the box, but it was nice and slicey right out of the box. You have a nice even cutting edge on both sides. Nice even bevel. You can't see it, but trust me, it's right up the middle and even. And yeah, with the hollow grind, you're going to get really nice performance up until it gets to the full flat area, which is a good distance. So yeah, you can do food prep with this, do multi-purpose large EDC work with this. I don't know how hollow grind is at doing bushcraft. I'm assuming like Scandi grind is maybe the best, or let me know if it's like a full flat. Probably a saber grind is good if you're doing like wood splitting and stuff, right? But regardless, I think this is built more for slicing than it is for splitting things. The downside of a hollow grind is it's not as durable as a flat grind or a saber grind, but S35VN steel is quite durable, so I feel confident doing most tasks with this. Do a bonus paper cut here with some paper. Ooh, that's nice. And we'll do some Valentine's Day chocolate heart container cutting. This is still light duty. Yeah, but it cuts efficiently. So I love the blade design. I don't personally love satin finishes. I prefer tumble finishes, but that's just me. It does look nice on camera, doesn't it? Okay, I'll just do a size comparison for you. Go. So we start with my medium-sized knife, which I can get all my fingers on. This is the size of a Benchmade bug out, or what else is this size? A little bit larger is the Spyderco Tenacious, Benchmade Griptilian, that's kind of a half size up from this. Spyderco Para 3 is this size. This is the beginning of full size for me. See, I've got a bit extra poking out the back of the hand. And a little bit larger still. And then we get into my big knives. SOG Seal XR Recon M1. Benchmade readout with the Applied Weapons Technology aluminum handle scales, and my North Arm Skaha 2 with Contour G10 and Magna Cut, made in British Columbia, Canada. And so you can see this is middle of the road for the size of knives that I like to use for me. So out of 10, I'm going to take away 1 point for the rough inside of the handles. Now the solution is to take some probably pretty low grit sandpaper, like 120, and work on this maybe 30 passes, and that will take the bite off of the inside. But because this is a coated handle, it will also remove the coating and make it look like trash. So I'm not going to do that with this. So I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. Otherwise, and I mean, yeah, the handle is a little thin for me, but you know what? I'm just complaining about it because like it's not that legitimate, because this is meant to be a bug out bag knife. This is meant to be a easy to carry, slim profile, but you know, maximizing length and you know, grip, while also being as slim as possible, while also still being, you know, thick enough to do up to heavy duty tasks in a pinch. So obviously Code 4 was designed for a specific role of being an easy to carry, you know, work knife, duty knife, tactical knife, or just a large EDC you can carry in your jeans and not have to worry about it ripping up your pocket. The pocket clip is very comfortable in hand. It is not a full deep carry. There's this much poking out the top. You can't really grab it, so that's a little bit weird that Cold Steel would put it there and not full deep carry or give it more of a tactical where you can grab it. But the result is it is nice and comfortable in the hand, and this is very stiff, so maybe take some pliers and ever so gently lift it up a tiny bit so that it's going to go in and out of your pants, you know, using the clip easily. But you do have a nice, relatively smooth handle, so that's not going to be hard on your pocket if you're using the clip. And this is probably I would call this an evergreen design for Cold Steel. Pretty much every review of the Code 4 that I've seen is a glowing, you know, 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 review. I can't really go against that. It's a really good design for this implementation of what the knife is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a tank knife, and it's also not supposed to be a little gentleman folder. It's kind of in between, right? So I love it, and I love the color. I like that they also included black hardware with this, right? Put a little Cold Steel, put a little extra effort into this. You can get this at Blades Canada. Again, this is the limited edition black handle version, and it's the same price as the normal ones, about $160 Canadian. Interestingly, the picture on this was like a tiger stripey, like a black and dark gray. So I thought I was going to get something real tactical, military, tough looking, and then it came just all nice matte black, which I also love. So you know, it's a little surprise, but hey, all my knife handles are black, so it suits me. Okay, that concludes my review of the limited edition black handle Cold Steel Code 4 with your traditional hollow grind. Have a great night. I will see you soon. Okay, bye.